Hi there again, this is AZ Bill 3433 here once again. Now right up front I want to say that this video is about something that is a work in progress for me. I know recently that Mini Bowl Design has been working on a new wick stove bottle feed system. This one here is actually the one that I bought from him, which is the nipple cap. And this one here is actually one that I made myself, and it worked just as well as the one I got from him. And then this one here is the chicken feeder, chicken water feeder, I guess you might say, that he also sells. And this works very well too. It has its limitations, and maybe we'll discuss that a little bit later. But what I thought of is just recently, I think it was on Monday, a soap dispenser became available. We used it up in the house and everything else, and I was looking at it and I said, well, could that possibly be something I could use to make one of these type of wick stove alcohol feeders? And so I put it together kind of quickly here, and I tested it about 6 times, and it's worked very well all those 6 times. It does have its limitations, just like any other system would have. I did take off, which I don't have here right now, but I did take off the portion in which you push down on and replace it with, this is actually loose right now. I haven't, again, this is a work in progress, and this is nothing other than a end plug for 1/2-inch PVC pipe that I cut off a portion of it. This portion was taken off and made so that it fits onto with a hole in it. And so it goes over, of course, it goes over the tubing, but it also sits on a little shoulder that's on the pump portion of the of this dispenser. And then also this is actually a micro nipple that is just put actually some silicone tape around it to help it, but it didn't leak when I put it in the first time. But I thought silicone tape would guarantee that it didn't leak. And it's only hand tightened into the top of the pump dispenser. Now, I also have on here right now, which is a kind of a clunky shut-off valve. I've actually have on order, which I don't know if you can see this real well, I have on order this really lightweight pinch valve that is normally used for a lot of medical systems and things like that. And it is also one that I think very similar to the one, if not, no, I don't know if it's the same one, but one that Smoke Eater 908 uses on his chicken feeder system when he wants to limit the amount of flow. Now I have those on order, they should be here next week, but I do have this clunky one, and it is not a flow valve, it is just basically a on-off valve. And here's the reason why. I'm sure a lot of you have, if you're old enough and you're old like me, have had situations where when you were a kid you may have wanted to siphon some gas out of a tank, and you have your gas tank on the ground and some type of tubing system that goes down inside the gas tank, and you suck on that until you get the taste in your mouth of gasoline, and then you put the tubing down and you can fill up your gas tank that you have on the ground just by gravity. And basically this is almost like the same kind of system in a way, because I ran this yesterday, and this is actually Tinney's M2. I ran this yesterday, and you could see it ran full speed. I had it going full speed after I initially loaded it up. I had it going full speed for, I don't know, it was over 10 minutes, and you could just see the alcohol going down inside the bottle. And the only way you're going to stop that is using this on-off system here. So again, this is a work in progress. Now, what's kind of nice about this is you depress this and you can feed this. And I think I'm not too sure. I'm trying to see whether or not this is a good system or not. One, of course, maybe this is not the greatest bottle in the world, but again, this is just a test to see whether or not something like this would, certainly if I had a bottle that had a dispenser that was similar to this one here, it would be a more optimum. But right now I'm on the lookout for a bottle that has a dispenser. Maybe when I go to Walmart this weekend, I'll look around and see if they have one with a dispenser that works well with this. Now this top of this one here, this pump, does not go into this bottle because of the this cap here does not go all the way. It goes a portion of the shoulder, but does not go against the threads, so I can't use that. Now, let me do this. Let me do a demonstration. I'll come back and we'll do a little demonstration of how this works and how this shuts off, and I guess maybe we'll all have to kind of decide whether or not this is like a DIY system that you could put together, that you wouldn't necessarily have to buy one of these types of systems. Now it works again. I mean, if you've got this nipple all the way down on the table here or on the ground or wherever, this will feed it automatically, and it'll run full tilt out for as long as you want to run a full tilt out until you shut it off. Now, you can crimp it in all different ways that you want to. This is one way. That I don't think this is a little bit too clunky to take if you're a backpacker. Again, if you're a backpacker and you have something like this, or even smaller, if it was even like a 6 ounce, this is 8 ounce. The actual tubing on the inside actually pulls away. It's not a portion of the pump itself. You can pull that out and have the upper portions, you know, stored away in a bag or something like that. The tubing, of course, is going to go along with it if you want to. And you also can take a cap off if you have, like I do. I have a second cap, which is right over here, and that would go onto your bottle. This actual cap that goes on here actually fits on this one too. It's a similar thread. So let's do this. Let me do a sorry for the jiggling. My foot hit that. Let me do a demonstration on this, and we'll come back. I'll set it up and we'll come back and we'll see what the demonstration looks like. Be back in a minute. Okay, we're back. The bottle is already primed, so I have actually alcohol in this part of the line that's shut off right now. I'm down a little bit low on here because I actually screwed up when I turned on the camera one time, so I'm actually redoing this first portion here. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to turn this on so we get flow, and lots of noise from that. And what I've actually found is that what you want to do with this little bitty M2 is just get it so you've got a little bit of fluid in here, light it, and then bring it up to its maximum after you've got it lit. Otherwise you're going to overflow this little one here, so I'm only going to pump this lightly, and hopefully see if we have enough fluid in there to get going. I think we do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pump it again and try to get the flame up. So I think that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and get it started here. Get this out of the way. Put the pot stand on. Put this on. And we're going to turn this off now because it was still feeding. And I think we're doing pretty good right there. Let's turn the light off and see what the flame looks like with the light off. Got a little light overhead. That looks pretty good. Now if you want to see if you want to increase a little bit, that would be up to you, but I think I would leave this here for right now. And what we'll do is we'll let this burn out and a little bit till we see the yellow around the fringes of the wick, and we'll come back and we'll see how easy it is to refuel it again. So we'll be right back when that happens. Okay, we burned down somewhat. We're getting the yellowness around the outside wick. So what I'm going to do is turn this back. Whoops! I'm going to turn this back on again. It makes a lot of noise, and hopefully when I get that other valve, it certainly won't make that kind of noise, and it's much smaller. So again, we've already got fuel in that particular part of the line. We're just going to depress the pump once, twice, and I can already hear that it's starting to load up again. And that's about a half depression right there. I'm going to leave it right there, and we're going to turn it back off again. And I don't know, this is a work in progress. Everybody's going to have to make their own decision if they want to try and experiment with one of these themselves and see how well it works. But again, this is not the optimal bottle I would probably use, but this is a really good experiment to see whether or not something like this is going to be functional. Backpackers, I don't know. I'm not much of a backpacker. I'm really more of a camper, and I use these to augment my canister type stoves, and I have fun playing around with these, and so everybody's going to have to make their own decision. Now once I get the other valve, maybe I'll do another video to see how well that one works. That one might be a little bit better because I think it's not just a shut off. You can actually control the actual flow, and I can tell you if I left that open, this thing would just keep going and going and going until you used up all the fuel that was in the bottle. It wouldn't stop as long as this height of this is below the level of the fluid itself or the alcohol in the bottle, and you're in a position where you're on a flat level surface like this. So anyway, that's my experiment. That's my work in progress. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. We're already starting to get the start of a boil. So anyway, let me know if there's any comments or questions. And until then, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.